Hey guys, my name is Andrew Smith. For those of you guys who may not know me, me and my wife are with Ethnos 360 Aviation, and we're in McNeil, Arizona doing flight training. The reason we're doing flight training is the organization wants to make sure that as a new pilot coming in, that I'll be able to operate safely overseas when we go and fly missionaries into their tribal locations. And the flight training program here kind of entails a few different things. One of them being a couple weeks ago, we went to New Mexico and we stayed at a city area, pretended that was our home base, and we flew into the mountains of New Mexico, and we're kind of simulating that those were tribal locations that missionaries were at. And it was a time for training on calculating fuel, weight, all those different things, flight planning issues that come up. And as we went to the different places, there would be different scenarios that things would come up, and just a time to practice what it looks like to be a missionary pilot and deal with changing schedules and cargo and all those issues that come up. That there was just a time to practice that, which was really good. However, a lot of the training focuses on the runway. Being in mission aviation is a little different than here. The main difference is the airports that we're flying to are very restricted airstrips. And so a lot of the practice here that we do and training we do is to get comfortable and learn the techniques necessary to land on short and narrow runways. Now there's a disclaimer. The runways we use overseas are actually larger and longer than the ones we practice on, but we want to be able to make sure we can operate safely on these ones, so when we go over there and the pressures of the missionaries' needs, weather, culture, all those things add up, that we can still operate safely. So anyways, for today, I just want to take you on what would be a typical flight period for a day, that just show you what we do when we practice these short runways. The runway we're going to be using is here on the property. It's about 1,100 feet by 15 feet wide. And so yeah, I just want to take you along and hope you enjoy it.
Traffic, station air 9461 Romeo is on a downwind runway 26. We'll be doing a low pass runway 26. Now we're just going to do a low pass, so flaps are 20, checklist is complete. Looking for about 70 knots all the way down. We're just going to fly right over the field. And just look, we're looking for animals, rocks, whatever. This is actually they have a bunch of cows out here, so we want to make sure there's no cows on the runway. We've had coyotes, we've had deer, so we're just making sure the runway's clear before the next time we come around and actually put the wheels down. Alright, running downwind, a little bit fast, bring the throttle back, mixture is set, looking good. Alright, this time we're actually going to land. There's our touchdown spot. We're bringing the power back. Flaps going to 10. Flaps are full. Checklist complete. Over the dot just a little bit there. So we'll back in. Start slowing her down to 52 knots, approach speed. Alright, so our control trim is set. Controls are free, there's nothing binding them up, which is good. Fuel's in the left tank, which is fine. We want, by the set of tires down there, we want 35 knots. We do not have 35 knots. We're going to pull the throttle back, dump the flaps, and get heavy on the brakes so we don't go off the end. If we are going to go off the end, I'm going to go pull the mixture on and turn the electricity off. So we'll go off the end with everything shut down.
Left base, runway 3.
Ethnos traffic, stationary 9461 Romeo, taking off runway 26 and we're remaining in the pattern, Ethnos. Alright, we're ready to go. Do a power check. Yep. Box fell open there. Flap is required because we're going to be doing a simulated engine failure. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring the throttle back all the way to idle and we're going to glide into the runway. There are beam points, the throttle's coming all the way back to idle. I'm turning, I'm going to switch our fuel tanks, turn our fuel pumps on for 2 seconds. See if that will help fix the engine. It doesn't. Throttle's coming back out. And it looks like we're going to make the field, so come right in here, we turn the ignition off, we're going to open the door for a crash landing, bring our prop back in there, 70 knots.
Look at that cool radio I got. So stressful.